You can make a difference. You can give hope to a child. You can change a life. And that is no small change.
Welcome to another episode of One-on-One. My name is David Stahl.
And I'm Chris Reinsma, and today, Dave, we get to talk about something really fun.
What's that?
We're going to talk about great ideas that you can use in the mentoring hour, and this is a great time of the year to talk about that because you've probably used up a lot of the ideas you've had before, right? And you might need some new energy here for this last little push through spring.
Without a doubt. I think we have just, a dozen or so times left to mentor, if that many. And yeah, I've exhausted all the great ideas. I'm into the borderline ideas and the lousy ideas. So if we could replenish my tank with some great ideas, I can make it through the rest of the year.
Well, let's get right into it then.
Well, what's our first one?
Our first one is going to be a really cool sight word game from Learning Resources, and this game is called Pop. Okay? So we have in here, in our popcorn box, we have a whole bunch of sight words. And so what you will do is you would play it with your mentee, and your mentee would draw one of the popcorn pieces, and if they read the word correctly, it goes into their pile. Okay?
All right, so Chris, first, what's a sight word?
A sight word, basically the frequently used words that all kids need to know in order to help their reading fluency.
Okay, so we're not going to see like photosynthesis on one of those popcorn pieces.
No, they're like this one says, for instance, well, you read it.
It says C.
C. That's good. You did it, Dave. Good. And this one says her.
Yeah.
So it's words like that
Yeah.
that they need to know in order to have good fluency in reading.
All right, so they pull the popcorn pieces out of the box, and
And
what
then
happens?
it goes in their pile if they get it right. Now, and then the goal then of the game is to get the most words in your pile. If I were to draw a word out and I didn't know it, we would put it in the unpopped pile.
Ah, okay.
And then there's these wild cards in there where it says pop on the other side, and if you if you draw a pop, then you have to put all your words back into the box.
There we go. Okay, so you make it kind of a game, kind of
Absolutely.
a contest. All right.
Lots of fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Dave, the popcorn is a great idea. What's another great idea that somebody could use in the hour?
Well, Chris, in school, kids have an orientation around books. But, as my little guy and I have figured out quickly, he's read all the books that he really likes to read. So how about writing a book?
That's awesome.
And maybe not writing, but creating a book. And it can be a book of pictures. So I heard one mentor say she brought a disposable camera, they went outside, took pictures, and made a springtime book. Because she developed the pictures, brought them back in.
Right, that's a great idea.
But there's other ways to do it too. I mean, let's think about how else could you make a book with your child?
Well, you could certainly draw pictures and write about there. And there could even be pictures of you and your mentee doing some things together.
Only if you have that photo release.
Only if you have the
sign,
photo
though.
release, but certainly could do that. And a lot of people, I think, have picture-taking capabilities on their phones now, so the phone could be a way to do that as well.
Absolutely. It could be a lot of fun. Well, Chris, we talked about making a book brings to mind words. Anything to do with words?
Well, one thing you could do is you could use some springtime words and you could try to make a story out of them. So, Dave, I'm going to challenge you a little bit right now with some springtime words, and I'm going to give you these cards and you have to make a story out of these words. Okay. What are the words?
The first word is sunny. The second word is birds. The third word is baseball. Fourth is flower. And the last word is spring.
Okay, so now you have to make a story out of those words, using those words.
So one spring day, Chris, it was rather sunny as the birds were chirping, and little Chris stepped up to the plate, and he hit the first pitch thrown to him, and he hit that baseball so far, it went into Mrs. Smith's yard, rolled for about 20 feet, and landed right on top of her favorite flower that had just blossomed.
Ding, ding, ding. Well done. Well done. And so you could do a quick story like that with your mentee, and maybe if a child was telling it, there wouldn't be quite as many words as what Dave used, but fun for both of you to do, and you can have maybe 2 different sets of words you could use. And speaking of baseball, Dave.
Oh, Chris, of course, it brings to mind a great idea, and that is get outside of the school, out on the playground, bring a wiffle ball and a wiffle ball bat, the giant-sized one, go outside and just hit the ball. It's a blast.
It's a lot of fun. And you know, those big orange or yellow bats, they're perfect because it's pretty easy to hit the ball with those. And so you'll have a lot of success, even if you aren't a real professional wiffle ball player.
And, you know, with a wiffle ball, Chris, it doesn't go real far.
Right.
So Mrs. Smith's flowers will be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris, let's get back inside the school and let's talk another game that helps us with reading or words or whatever.
This game, we're going to call this mystery word. And basically, I have some cards here that just letters are written on, and they're cut out of a index card. And all the letters together would spell springtime. But what you do is you lay all the letters out, okay, not in the order that they would spell springtime. And then you have the child try to make 2-letter words. Just pull 2 letters out. You can make some different ones, and then 3-letter words, and maybe even some 4-letter words. And then you go all the way up and you say there's a mystery word that all these letters together make. And the word is springtime. But it's just kind of a great way to progress from 2-letter words to 3-letter words and all the way up to this big, long word.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Dave, what could be something that we could do maybe in our hour, but maybe other mentors could do too? Do you have any ideas about what that could be?
Oh, sure. My director does a great job of creating program-wide contests. And by that, you know, we'll use the springtime mystery word game there. What you can do is, as the director, have everybody play the same game, and like the mystery word, have a contest to see how many 2-letter words or 3-letter words or how many words you can make out of all of those letters. And then write down your score, put it in an envelope, collect them all, and then have a winner announced the next week.
Yeah.
Because here's what we've figured out, is that kids love to participate in contests.
Absolutely.
And so if you can mix an academic element in with fun and make it a contest, it's a sure win. And you know what? I guarantee kids will spend a long time trying to figure out how many words they can get out of the letters in springtime so they can win the contest.
Yeah. What were some of the other contests that you've done at your program?
We just did one where we had a big jar of jelly beans in there, and you had to count the number or guess the number of jelly beans in there. So like me and my little guy, we spent a long time trying to estimate and see, okay, how many are on this side, this side, this side, how many do you think are in there? And, you know, we made our best guess. We didn't win, though, but we had fun along the way.
Absolutely.
Chris, for some reason I can't remember what the next one is. What's the next one?
Interesting that you can't remember that. The next game is a memory game, and it's kind of a homemade version, which is great. But basically, like an Altoid box that you decorate a little bit, and then we just took these little chips here, and we put a sticker on one side, and obviously there's a match for it. And you turn it over, and it's just a matching game. But you can put some fun stickers on there to match. It could be spring related, or it could be something else. I know that in this one here, my favorite match would be this one, Dave. And can you tell the audience what's on that one?
That looks like a donut.
Yeah, not just any donut, a chocolate donut. So I would love to match the chocolate donut. But again, working on that, those matching skills and those memory skills is a great fun game that you can play with your student.
Chris, you know, a lot of times teachers will still give us work to do and all that. How do we sort of spice up the everyday academics that we need to work on?
Well, there's a lot of ways you could do it. And one kind of fun way, Dave, if I can just kind of reach behind you here, if you can see right here, that what if you brought like a special kind of pen that the child would use, like this one right here that has a flower on it. And maybe there's other kinds of special pens that you could pick up at the dollar store. And then I just think that makes some of the work more fun because they're using this really cool pen. Real simple, real fun.
And you can find flowers anywhere. Mrs. Smith has a couple of broken ones in her yard.
Absolutely. Well, Dave, we come to that point in our program where it's time for us to have a little bit of fun.
Yes, it is, Chris. It's that time again. where what we do is we pull out a single program who's watching out there right now. And Chris, tell us what happens when we pull that number up.
Well, that number corresponds to somebody's
There
program,
you go.
and when we figure out who that is, they get $100 from the Kids Hope USA store.
That's right. If we select your name, what you need to do is call us by 5 p.m. Eastern Time on April the 12th, and you will be able to claim your prize of a $100 gift certificate to the Kids Hope USA online store. Chris, who is that program?
Well, our winner this week are our good friends from Aledo United Methodist Church in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And Shannon Reynolds and Amy Cooper. So either one of those two gals, if you guys could call us and claim your $100 prize at the Kids Hope USA store for your program.
Or if you know Shannon and Amy, and maybe they have a slow internet connection and they weren't watching this or something like that, give them a call and say, watch that episode of One-on-One and make sure you call into the office. So we look forward to hearing from Aledo, Texas.
Dave, today we went through 8 different ideas on kind of spicing up the hour and making it exciting again. Why is that important this time of year?
Well, you know, Chris, what happens is as we're in sort of the final lap, the final stretch of this year, what happens is it can start to feel a little mundane, a little routine. And if you, as the mentor, can add some new elements, some twist to it, yeah, what will happen is you'll end the year really strong with your child having a great time. And you know what, Chris, as far as building your relationship, that's important, is to make it fun and to end strong. Because we all know that what we're really trying to do here, fun is just one ingredient of working together to have a strong relationship that hopefully results in life change. Because, Chris, we both know, when you change a life,
it's no small change.
There was one really cool idea that it would not be a good choice to do at school, but it was a really cool idea that came in. It's called the Invisible Game.
I've never played it.
Okay, here, just, hold on. This is going to be really fun. Okay, watch this.
Dave, it didn't work.
Oh, yes, it did, Chris.
No, Dave, I can still see you.
No, it worked. Look at the. Well, I guess you can't look at the camera, but you'll. It worked.
I can still see you, though.
I know you can, Chris. We'll try it again some other time, but I probably should bring you back. Are you ready?
I guess.
Okay, I think I have. Wait, how did they do it? Okay, here we go.
I don't feel like this game really works. I just got to be honest with you.
Well, you'll just have to wait and see.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
The Invisible Game.
Yeah.